Good morning from Bali. Today I'm bringing to you another elemental transmission, specifically from water, and it is the wealth codes, the wealth and abundance codes. And before I begin, I just want to say that it almost feels like no one outside of me is telling me all of this, but the knowing, the information has already been there inside of me all along, and it's just now being activated and it's just now resurfacing. So I'm encouraging you as you listen to this and as you go about your day to consider the possibility that all of the knowledge and information and wisdom that you are wanting to receive is actually not coming from anyone anywhere outside of you. And even for me speaking this, merely reminding you of the information that is already lying dormant within you, just waiting to be awakened, because you know it, because when you listen it just makes so much sense to you. Say, oh yeah, of course that's how it works. How can it be any other way? There is a logic to the universe when you think about it. So let's talk about water and wealth creation and abundance. There are two principles that were being brought to my attention when I think of wealth, when I think about water. And basically, these are universal principles. I think of it as principles that underlie the fabric of the universe. The first one is flow and circulation, and the other one is regeneration and renewal. If you think about the nature of the universe, the fabric of the universe, everything is always circulating and flowing, and everything is always constantly regenerating and renewing itself. You look at the cycles of the season, days and nights, um, from a seed growing to a bud, and then becoming a tree, and the leaves fall and decay and become fertilizer. The process of circulation and regeneration is the nature of the universe. So if we live in harmony with the universe, if we live in harmony with our nature, which is the universal nature, then we can't escape the flow of abundance. We can't avoid it. It is just in our nature, it's inevitable. And when you think about this, it engenders a sense of trust, a sense of confidence that we are always going to be taken care of when we live in harmony with this universal nature. And then let's talk about water for a while, because water has really stepped out and has spoken to me about the whole message of wealth. So I don't know about you, but for me, even up until lately, I have been carrying this belief that if I'm making a lot of money, if I'm receiving a lot of money, that it comes from someone. If somebody somewhere is transferring that money to me, so me receiving that money means they are losing money. If I'm making a lot of money, it means someone is losing a lot of money. And maybe you don't have this belief. I thought I didn't have it either until I kind of like discovered lately. And so what I saw recently, what water has shown me, is that that is actually a misunderstanding, is a misconception. Basically, in that view, we see ourselves as people crowding around a stagnant pool of water where there is only a fixed and limited amount of water. And if you drink too much water, then somebody else will not have enough water to drink. But that is a total misconception, because what has been shown to me about the nature of wealth and the nature of abundance is that there is only one source of wealth. There is only one source of abundance in the world, and that is the source of creation. That is the source of wisdom, creativity, intelligence, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's God, maybe it's a creator, but that is the mouth of the fountain. That is the fountain, the source where all wealth, all money, all resources comes from. And the image that came to me is the image of a waterfall. So You have been to a waterfall, right? If you think back about it, at the top, upstream, you have this constant outpour of water constantly coming down. When it's rainy season, the water flow is huge. But even in dry season, you still see water coming through. So this is what wealth is. We are not people crowding around like a fixed and stagnant pool of water. We are actually drinking every single moment, every single minute from this waterfall, from this ever flowing stream. And it really speaks about the principles of flow circulation as well as renewing and regeneration. The water is always flowing. Can you imagine? We can have like all the people in the world, and if everyone is drinking from this waterfall, there's still gonna be more than plenty for everybody because the stream that's coming down is infinite, is endless, it's ever renewing. So the water flows downstream and then it goes it evaporates and sorry goes to the ocean or evaporates, become clouds, and then the clouds go back upstream and rains down. So it's a circulation, it's ever moving, ever flowing, and it's always regenerating and renewing. So what happens when somebody decides to hoard the water? That's when it affects the flow for the entire community. Like, there are places in the world where countries decide to build a dam on a river or across a waterfall. That really affects the people downstream because they are basically kind of like putting the water fixed in this box and this container and try to keep it for themselves. And the thing is, not only it affects the people downstream, but it affects them as well. If you think of the water coming down from the waterfall, fresh and new every single moment, it's carrying with it the codes from source, specifically relevant and pertinent to you in that moment in your process of evolution. Water is not just for drinking, for physical nourishment. It's also carrying vital cosmic energetic information that's pertinent to where you are right now in your process of revolution on earth. So by drinking that water fresh in the moment, it's like you're receiving timely, time specific guidance from the universe as well. So there is definitely there's no point in hoarding it. You want it fresh, you want something that's relevant to you right now. So it's really hopeful to think that there is more than plenty for everybody when we're just drinking from the waterfall. And also, if you think like in our languaging, there is it reflects our misconception, it reflects our misunderstanding. We say, I have to make money, or I want to make money. That's impossible. That can't be done. That's why it feels so difficult, because it can't be done. There is no money to be made by humans. All the resources, all the money, all the wealth that we ever access is in the waterfall. We don't make water. We just come to the stream and drink the water. So when you receive a check from someone, when you receive your salary or paycheck, somebody gives you money, somebody gives you a gift, you're not making money. You are drinking from this fountain of abundance and of wealth. So this feels really hopeful because it means it's not your job to go out there and create money out of thin air. All you have to do is to step into the stream of wealth, to step into the stream of harmony that has always been there and waiting for you. It's there. All we have to do is to step into it. So this is the message from Water today, the wealth codes from Water. Thank you for listening.